Hi, I'm Amanda Clausen, and I wanted to talk to you today about what I love about Triumphant Cross. I'm speaking to you from the past. We're recording this on a Tuesday because today I'm up in Maine celebrating Gail Angelis's installation to her new church in Falmouth. Most of you probably know the old pastor's joke about the bats in the sanctuary. The way to get rid of them is to confirm them. That is true to a point. Many young people leave the church, no matter what church, once they've fulfilled their obligation to get confirmed. Somehow that wasn't the case for me. It definitely helps that I had strong ties to the Lutheran church from the start. My grandfather was a Lutheran pastor in Ohio, so when my parents moved out here, they sought out a new church. The root of the reason that they stayed at TCLC was not the building, not the amazing coffee hour, but the people. I was the youngest baby baptized here at Triumphant Cross at the time, according to our previous pastor. So many people welcomed and included us. For example, Carl and Betty Tonneson became bonus grandparents and later my brother's godparents. As each of our siblings were born, we became closer with their family, hence why I'm up at Gail's installation today. Growing up here gave regularity and a feeling of security. I remember Pat Peters running the children's choir in the St. Lucia pageant. I remember being taught in Sunday school by innumerable people in the congregation. You know who you are. Each of them making this a safe space to grow up in. As I got older, I participated in youth programs, going to Youth Quake in Hammonasset, even going to New Orleans for the National Youth Gathering, and volunteering in a mass community cleanup shortly after Hurricane Katrina. I made lifelong friends through this church and had experiences that not only impacted my faith, but shaped me as a person. I stopped coming during my time in college since I went to school in Ohio, but big surprise, I ended up at a Lutheran university. Did I go to church every Sunday while I was in college? No. But there was a big difference, the people. I didn't have this congregation at that church. It just wasn't the same. I came back after college and immediately got involved in church. I was elected to council relatively young. I served on the call committee that selected Pastor Scott. I was put into a leadership role that took me from being terrified to make short announcements to making temple talks and leading worship from time to time when Pastor Scott was away. More recently, this congregation has supported my trips to the Holy Land, where I made even more lifelong connections and friends and changed my worldview in a way that I can't explain in 3 to 5 minutes. That'll be a whole nother sermon. I'm so lucky to have had the experiences that I've had in my life, and so many of them have been because of the people in this congregation. I recently started teaching high school biology after getting my master's degree in education. Guess who boosted my confidence to make that move? People in this congregation. I was terrified, but words from educators at TCLC encouraged me and advised me along the way. You know exactly who you are. Whenever I have a weak moment and sign up for a dating app, it asks you for all kinds of information. How many pets you have, how many kids you have, if you like dogs. It also asks for your religion. I always put myself as Christian, but I always feel like I have to be a little defensive and explain myself as a Christian, especially up here in New Hampshire. But I always end up talking about you, my family, not necessarily the faith part of it, but it's always the people. So what's my point to all of this? Get to know your congregation, make those connections, make an impact. It's because of the time, talents, and generosity of all of you that I'm up here speaking to you today. Thank you. The end.